We so often, as humans, have these challenges and difficulties in life and are so scared and afraid of doing new things, these unpleasant things, and we often overcomplicate these things and go these things on and on our heads, playing it out again and again before actually doing anything. Playing out all these possible outcomes, scenarios that will happen and what will be the outcomes and how people will react, what are those consequences. But in this thing too, that relates to these messages, that you have to find the correct balance between preparing and just doing. It is beneficial to you, of course, in some way prepare and think these things through before you do something, but there comes the point always when it will be not anymore beneficial to you. Completely opposite. It starts to hinder you and block your probability to do that thing, to overcome that challenge, fear, whatever it is. More often than not, those scenarios that and possible outcomes that your mind try to create them, all those reasons that you shouldn't do something are not valid. There can be that little bit of truth, but more than always than not, the problem that you are facing is not that complicated and big, and the negative consequences are not that big. Your mind often than not tries to prepare for the worst outcome, the scenario, and so often you lose the connection with reality when we speak about that problem. And that is then stopping or hindering you to do that, face that problem. I have in my life faced so much unpleasant things, difficulties, challenges, heartaches, whatever, all these things. I have been challenged in so many ways. I have been embarrassed so many ways. I have lost my sanity in certain kind of parts of my life and do everything kinds of stupid and weird things. So much. But still, after all those things, I'm still here. And I would say that there is not so many that even remembers those things. And so you have to always create a healthy based on reality connection, relationship with your challenges, difficulties. They are not so big and complicated and bad that you often think about. You often think that if you do something challenging outside of your comfort zone and fail, that the consequences will be eternal and you can't never overcome them. But in many situations, the reality is completely something else. You have the possibility to overcome, to beat those challenges and move forward. Learn and grow from them and leave all the negative things past to the past. Those lessons will stay in you, but people will forget them. Those situations will go, will pass. So you shouldn't be so careful, scared about facing those things and don't make in your head those things so big. And you have to always ask yourself, so what if this thing happens and, for example, people think about something of you. What you take with you from those situations will be eternal. But all those negatives will be just temporary. You don't have so much to lose in those situations. Much more to gain. I know these things very well, and that is why I am telling you today about these things. I was in my younger years very rational being and always wanted to be in control, even in difficulties and new situations. I always thought through those things ahead, played out in so many ways in my head, imagined all the possible outcomes, the worst outcomes, and in some way that benefited me. But when I just dwelled in that too much, it started to block my progression, growth, ability to actually do those things, to overcome my fears and obstacles. You can overcome so much, but you have to give yourself that possibility. You learn most often so much only by going to that uncomfortable zone outside of your comfort zone. And for us humans, the unknown is often very scary. But try to always keep this in mind that your mind often try to exaggerate, to make you prepare for the worst outcome. That is more than often than not the most likely outcome. So what my advice would be you to all is just to do things, think less and do more. When you have done all the necessary preparation work, went through the process one time in your head, when all the necessary things are done, then just do those things. You can find that place and time where after that you are just repeating those things in your head again and again, when you are just delaying the outcome that you have to do. Be always brave and try to some way always detach about things. Don't be in your mind so much. more easier said than done. But at least you are conscious about these things and try to can relate to these things better and have the knowledge behind that. I want to thank you again, always being with me. Going towards brighter future and take care of yourself. And remember that always everything starts from you. This is your life and your possibility. Don't waste it and live the life truly. Thank you again so much and we will see you hopefully next time.